G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a GM6 Lynx. This weapon comes from a family of GM6 Jeopard weapons developed by Hungary during 1987 and then further developed and added on further and further until we get to about 2010, which they've modernized it into the Lynx as we see here. And you can tell that it's modern because it's got a bunch of tactical rails over it. Very nice. The Picatinny rails, they're a staple of modern weapon design, it would seem. It's got a bullpup design, which means the barrel is going to be long without making the weapon excessively long. Helps for accuracy. And it's also got a crazy recoil reduction system where it'll reciprocate the barrel all the way back here and actually take all the bolt and all of that assembly all the way back here. So when you fire this thing, you won't feel a lot of that recoil. A lot of it will be absorbed by the springs and such. And that does translate into gameplay attributes or enhancements for you, because you can actually fire this thing pretty fast and your camera won't bounce around like a kangaroo on a barbecue because the thing's got that much recoil, which means you can have a fairly high DPS with this thing, just with close quarters fighting if you so wish. Next, we'll look at the attachments. First of all, we've got the receivers, and we can chuck that all the way up to upgrade parts kit level 7 for 200% more damage. Thank you very much. Not the standard way of making upgrades. There's no calibrated stuff for extra crit damage or faster fire rate stuff for less damage. It's all sort of basic plus 200% going from 20. Very nice. And you can make the barrel light if you feel like this thing is too much of a burden in your carry weight. That'll only take off 0.4 pounds though, so, you know, you take what you can get. And you can have a handguard, which will have the standard handguard here, which has many tactical rails, and the prototype one, which looks a lot lighter, but it makes the gun feel sort of bare bones. Maybe we'll leave that standard, but we'll grab another one and we'll make it prototype, yeah? And for a magazine, we can grab an extended magazine, so that'll increase our ammo capacity by 5. Normally this thing has just got a 5-round magazine, but they'll be double stacked in that thing. That gives us double. That's good. Moving on, we've got the iron sights on right now. Stock, this thing does come with a 10-time scope, which I think is plenty. I quite like the look of the giant scope on this thing. And you can scroll all the way down here for a 12-time scope if you feel like it. And this one is a different scope, and you can have one of the rangefinder if you feel like it, and this one actually gives you not much in the way of anything, but it does require sniper. If we look at this compared to the 10-time scope, what does it do differently? Not much. It's just there to look cool, I suppose. So what I'll do is I'll leave the 10-time scope, but we've got a bunch of reflex sights if we want to do something a little bit more close quarters, and some lower range scopes if you want to have a more of a medium range go at this, but we'll leave the long scope on. And you can have a bunch of muzzle brakes on this, which will improve the weapon's handling, maybe, who knows. They will improve the weapon, and no, unimprove the weight. You can also have a knife on the front, which you'll actually need a combat knife to do, but generally, like, why would you? I mean, at least it doesn't give you a range penalty. I guess it's cool if you want, but I wouldn't recommend it. And you can have a gigantic suppressor if you want, which will increase our damage thanks to Ace Operator, and also increase the range, you see, because that extra barrel distance will give us a little bit more range. Very nice. It's raining. Don't worry about that. Legendary effect is there if you need it. Probably won't want one. You can change the color of this. Quickly go through them. Candy cane. Nice. Death by a Kitty looks like a graffiti wall. Grey is kind of cool. Olive drab's interesting. There's red. Bit of spray stuff. Bit of tan. And white. We'll go for white. I think that'll suit. And you can have wraps. And you can change the wraps. The wraps will appear on your pistol grip. You can have it tape or paracord. Not sure what that does. Doesn't actually say anything. Doesn't alter the weapon card. But you can change the color of that if you feel like it. Let me just find that. Let's make it red. That's the Institute color. White, red, black, that sort of thing. And you can have a foregrip on the rail on the bottom. If you feel like it, we'll chuck on a angled foregrip. But worth mentioning, there's a nutsack foregrip. This is definitely a male GM6 by the looks of that. Alright. Now, we've got a rail on top. You can have a carry handle on that. It looks kind of funky. Maybe there for realism, but no thank you. And that pretty much does it for attachments. We'll create a couple more of these so we can have a little bit more of a, I guess, modular approach to our combat situations, and then we'll get started. Interestingly, it doesn't look like I've got anything to use on those side rails. No, nothing in the way of laser sights or anything. Getting this weapon is fairly easy. All you need to do is go to your chemistry workbench and find GM6 Lynx, and provided you have all of these materials and gun nut rank 1, which is available as soon as you start, you can make this thing your own. Bam, like that. There we go. There's another one. And another one. Another one. It's worth mentioning that if you have multiple of these in your inventory, some of the attachment points may not work. So if you've got multiple, drop some and work on one at a time and you'll be right. Righto, so here we are outside of Immersive Gunners Plaza. Maybe you would call it Fort Galaxy because it's a Galaxy News radio station, which they've turned into a giant fort. I don't know, that sounds cooler than Gunners Plaza, it must be said. Anyways, this is the GM6 in first person. Looks pretty cool. Taking a look in third person, it's pretty well there. There's a couple of things that aren't quite right. The pistol grip not holding that properly, and there's a little bit of clipping with the buttstock there. But that's kind of nitpicky. I can let that slide. And I've created a couple of other variants of these. The ones with reflex sights, you'll see I have with the prototype handguard and just reflex sights and a muzzle brake on the front. So 2 suppressed and 2 unsuppressed varieties, so we can hear this thing and use it in multiple different situations. Now, since we've got such a long ass scope here, I may as well utilize this thing over a little bit of range, because why wouldn't I? So if we crouch down behind this tree stump, we've got a lot of distance between us and these gunners, so they'll take a long time to get me. Now, since this weapon's range is so ungodly high, we can actually get away with getting a lot of damage from all the way back here. And since weapons in this game are hit scan, unless otherwise, okay, that one's hard to hit somehow. I wonder if I'm slightly at a distance there. Maybe? Got her that time. Just the tip of her skull. Anyways, yeah, since they hit scan, we can hit them from basically as far as we want out. As long as our crosshair is centered on them when we shoot them, then they'll be good. That one hit this tree stump. I saw a big kick of dust come up when I fired. So they'll be advancing on me, but compared to normal, I've got a lot of time before they start actually putting me in danger, which is good. Probably should prioritize the ones that are getting a little bit closer, so we'll shift over to this side. There we go. That one goes down. Don't know what I'm shooting at there. Just saw a health bar. Just went for it. I think that one's sitting behind. Trying to thread the needle there. Doesn't look like the hitboxes will let me. That's okay. Got a couple of dudes sitting up top as well. Generally, they don't like moving unless they are moving. Then I'd completely go to lead them, which I shouldn't. See, playing games with different bullet mechanics can really mess you up. And now we're in danger. The good thing about being in danger with this weapon is that when they're close enough to be in VATS, you can just shoot them. There. And that allows you to basically keep on gunning away. We are still in danger, and they will be coming closer. But since this thing has such a high range, what you can do is just shoot these gunners with perfect accuracy pretty much all the time. That's an MG42. If we get into real trouble, I've got a secret weapon. It's going to be cool when we use it, and hopefully won't use it on myself. Ah, there's a giant mantis there too. We'll take that out. His head comes flying off, or rather she's head, because generally the bigger mantits, that's the plural of them, mantits, is that they're female. That's how bugs were. Anyways, we'll shoot this guy with a critical, and nice. You get to see the reciprocating barrel if I do the criticals, and I do want to show that off. So, we're going to be spamming criticals for the next 5 kills. Yep, another MG42 guy. Glad to see him gone, and looks like we'll be okay to keep going around here. We'll probably have a few more gunners to deal with up top. Generally, there's a big garrison over here, so we'll sneak over. Oh, plenty of dudes stacked there. We'll get sniping. Really choking against that guy. Very target-rich environment right now. But a lot of gunners taken out in a very short time span there with those glorious sneak criticals. There's a feral ghoul. I'm going to shoot this guy because I want to. Well, we got a crit back. That's about as much as I can say, or almost. There we go. That one's never hostile. That one's always friendly for some reason, and I don't know why. That's just a basic gunner. Bless your cotton socks, you are dead now. And now it's getting a little bit foggy, but we can still see their silhouettes like that. That was actually a headshot there. Cool. Alright, so we're moving a little bit more into close quarters territory now, so I suppose we'll switch over to our reflex variant of one. That does well. 736 and 1200 to the head. Seems to knock these gunners out pretty easily. And I haven't really been using this thing to its maximum rate of fire, but I did mention how the recoil system sort of translated into gameplay stuff for you, and it does. So if your aim isn't that good, you can just have accuracy by volume, like I just demonstrated there, and eventually you'll get them. Although if you expend all 10 shots and you still don't kill them, then that's your own problem. And nice. Okay, that was interesting. And we're in a little bit of trouble. We might actually be in nerd rage here in a second, which will be fun if there's a bunch of dudes around for me to kill. Looks like there is. We're gonna go on a big spree here. Let's go for it. You're dead. Unfortunately, 2 shots for you, but the rest of these Rust Devils are squishy. We go on a big kill streak here. We're gonna get most of our health back from nerd rage, so if we happen to lose a little bit more of our health, we can do it all again. Righto, I think there might be a couple of others around the sides which I haven't dealt with yet, which I'll endeavor to do that. Let's bring out this one. Also, I like how the drawing animation, you actually release the latch which releases the barrel from its reciprocated position, because there's a little latch that holds it in if you want to keep it slightly more compact. And just so you can hear this thing loud and proud, I may as well demonstrate it. And whoops, that's about it. Alright then, so we got a level up there. We'll quickly run up to the top there and then I'll show you my secret weapon. Righto, commencing door breach maneuver. Let's go. And almost there. Got it?
Got it.
And then flashbang out. And then wait for it. And, okay, that didn't work. Flashbang out again. There we go. And now we can kill them. Just pretend that was the first flashbang, alright? Cool? Cool. So yeah, there's a flashbang mod. It's really cool. You can actually flashbang yourself, and it doesn't look pleasant to go through, but I'll demonstrate it. You okay? You alright? You okay? You alright? Alright. You're fine. You look okay. It's a rainy day here at Swan's place, but that's okay because we'll get this over and done with nice and quickly. There goes Mr. Super Mutant. Now, one thing that I didn't do with the, with this when I was going through the gunners is I was just one-shotting everything, right? So, we didn't actually get to see this thing at its full potential going as fast as possible with sneak attack criticals. So we'll change that right now and then get detected immediately. But we were hitting for about 3,500 damage. Maybe we'll go and find another target during the night for that. But that's 2,000 damage for those things and 3,100, almost 3,200 for the criticals. So we'll keep spamming these criticals just so we can see the barrel reciprocate because it's awesome. But then we get hit. What I should probably do here is switch over to, we'll go for this one because I haven't used it yet, and try to sniper knockdown on this guy. Should happen eventually, right? There he goes. I think we actually got one again there, so we'll pop a full reload and then we'll get shooting him in the head once again. Get plenty of shots in bats and you can get them off very, very quickly indeed, very much like that. And if we can get another sniper knockdown here, yes, we can. Getting carried by sniper rank 2 right now. But to the weapon's credit, it can fire this fast anyway. So, an utter annihilation of Swan there. Pretty sure he didn't like that. He's thinking about it. He's going for it. So he gets hit. and it hits him pretty hard. I don't know, maybe the dust cover there is super sharp and it just cuts right through him as soon as you touch him with it. It's like a vibro blade from Star Wars. Okay, let's try this again, and oops, he's aggroed against some insects. Well, that's too bad for them. They're about to cop it, right? No, he didn't bother anymore. So, there's old mate. We'll go and shoot him a little bit and wait for him to get a little bit closer, or we're just going to keep on hitting him. Why not? Yeah, let's get him. He goes down, on the ground, sniper rank 2, and dead in a few seconds. Could've probably went a little bit faster there, but that's okay. What was that dude doing in the sand? That was weird. Anyways, we got plenty of time. May as well do some pest extermination while we're here. And there's the reloaded in third person. Look at that giant pull of the handle there. Quite like that. Big, dramatic pull of the charging handle. It amuses me greatly. Let's move on. Alrighty, so here we are outside of where a giant Deathclaw lives, and before we get engaged to the Deathclaw, there's a couple of gunners that usually draw its aggro, so if I were to sneak around this direction and get within rendered distance of them so I can pick them off before I begin my fight with the Deathclaw. That's not the button. And there it is over there. We could start by just picking off its friends. And I might actually consider just doing just that. We actually managed to get another collateral there on the Night Stalker Chameleon Deathclaw. And that's picked off 2. There's another Deathclaw around. He's run around the corner though. We can probably do this without using the suppressor as a sort of crutch for sneak attack crit damage, but everything's going pretty well so far. We'll scale this rocky cliff, because I just want to get close enough to these gunners so I can reach them and pick them off. They're up there usually. Maybe they're not out today. That's okay. That's just a basic chameleon Deathclaw. They're kind of rare, actually, these ones. Majestic creatures. But one that I must take out. And there's a sniper knockdown there. Very nice. And we can hopefully continue this sniper knockdown. There we go. Against this guy. That leaves him very exposed. Not that we'd have a problem hitting him anyway, just because of how much we've got in the way of accuracy. But again, reciprocating barrel, that's what you want to see. There it is. That's another sniper knockdown. And a very quick 3 crits there. Not messing around this time. Just keep on shooting him while he's down. Why not? Let's switch over to the one with a giant cookie on the front of it. The cookie monster is back, but in anti-material rifle form, ready to take out any Deathclaw that he sees. And just stand by for the reload. Alright, we're on again. And we'll go for a crit. Very nice. 2400. That's him mutated at this point. And wow, we're in Todd Rays mode now. This is fog the thickest I have seen in a long time. They're the gunners that I wanted to kill. There goes the sentry butt. There goes the Assaultron. Firing the laser at something. I don't know where the other one went. Anyways, I can see the silhouette of a giant Deathclaw, so your own size betrays you, my friend. Managed to even get a nice little knockdown there. We could probably target his belly with perfect accuracy from all the way back here. We certainly can. Critical away. Double crits. Very nice. The camera sometimes, when there's like stuff in the way, it'll just cycle through that stuff quickly, expecting you to miss, but we didn't. I think the amount of fog on the screen right now is currently messing up the Deathclaw's pathing AI. It just can't find me. So, however unfortunate it is, the show must go on. Not a problem. Well, not my problem, really. Alright, so we can't fire through the ground, but the critical will work. We actually got 2 criticals for that. Do you have another shot? He's getting back up. Have to reload first, that's okay. Nice. Alright, looks like we should go in for our final attack now. Can't dodge me all day. Bash kill there. No, not quite. That was a critical strike for 100 damage though. Uh-oh. Okay, he's gonna throw down. And that's gonna get me in Nerd Rage after I coax the game into doing it. And okay, it got a little bit dangerous there, but hopefully that made for a more interesting fight than just sitting back and chipping it away at his health until he died. Now, I've got a bone to pick with these gunners. I'm sure there's one around here somewhere. Well, I'm regaining my health back, so it must be completely hidden at this point. I'm just gonna bash a little bit. Alright, looks like whatever happened is, oh, I guess he died. I don't think the sentry bots do that much damage when they explode, but apparently they do. And it's really foggy, so I'm gonna go away here because it's kind of obnoxious at this point. Okay, one last monster because I think this one will be quick. So I've hopped up on every single drug that'll help me, so we'll see what kind of damage we can do. 14,000, nice. 17,000, concentrated fire, nice. Another 17, and bam, blacked out. 6.4 times sneak multiplier. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it indeed. That could have been even better with VATS crits in the mix, but honestly, 17,000, quite enough. Anyways, so that there was the GM6 Lynx. If you'd like to see this thing in your game, then be sure to check out the description. There shall be a link there. Also, can wear like any other classic holstered weapon. It looks really good as an apparel item. Look like a proper wasteland merc with it on your back. Anyways, also I had a mod that made like it only clear weather, but then the weather kept getting locked into obnoxious weather things, so I don't think that'll stay around anymore. So that's why the fog was a little bit bad. But yeah, I highly recommend this. If there's an Xbox port, that'll be linked in the description as well. Thank you very much for watching, guys.